There are few players in football who can turn the course of a game with just a moment of brilliance. But during his prime, Gareth Bale was one of them. Known for his blistering pace, thunderous left foot, and a knack for rising to the occasion, Bale's prime years saw him become a key figure at both Tottenham Hotspur and Real Madrid. But how good was he really at his peak? Let's take a journey back through time and relive the moments that cemented Gareth Bale as one of the most unforgettable footballers of his generation. Gareth Bale's story begins like many footballing legends, with humble beginnings. Born in Cardiff, Wales, Bale was a prodigy from a young age, quickly attracting attention for his incredible athleticism and technical ability. It wasn't long before Southampton, known for its impressive youth academy, spotted his potential. In 2006, at just 16 years old, Bale made his debut for Southampton. Originally deployed as a left-back, it quickly became evident that this young Welshman was much more than a defender. His speed, crossing ability, and knack for taking free kicks caught the eye, and it was clear that Bale was destined for bigger things. Southampton provided the perfect stage for Bale to hone his skills. He was raw but incredibly exciting to watch. Every time he touched the ball, you could sense something was about to happen. It wasn't long before bigger clubs started circling. In 2007, Tottenham Hotspur signed the young Welshman for a fee of £5 million, a move that many believed was a gamble at the time. But Bale quickly showed why Spurs were willing to take the risk. Initially, his time at Tottenham was plagued by injuries and inconsistent form. Some even doubted whether he could fulfill the immense potential he had shown at Southampton. But by 2010, everything changed. Bale's transformation from a left-back to an attacking winger was a masterstroke by then-manager Harry Redknapp. It unlocked his true potential, allowing him to terrorize defenses in a way that few players could. He was no longer just a prospect, he was a game changer. The world first got a real taste of just how dangerous Bale could be in the 2010-11 UEFA Champions League, particularly during an iconic performance against Inter Milan. Ask any football fan about the moment Gareth Bale truly announced himself on the world stage, and they'll point you to that night at the San Siro in 2010. Tottenham faced defending champions Inter Milan in the Champions League group stage, and what unfolded became the stuff of legend. Down 4-0 at halftime, Spurs looked dead and buried. But then Gareth Bale took matters into his own hands. In one of the most electrifying individual performances ever seen, Bale scored a second-half hat-trick, tormenting Inter's iconic right-back, Macon, with his blistering pace and devastating finishing. Although Tottenham lost the game 4-3, it was a coming-of-age moment for Bale. From that night onwards, he was no longer just a rising star, he was a player who could decide matches on his own. The world took notice, and soon, the biggest clubs in Europe began to circle. By the time the 2012-13 season rolled around, Gareth Bale was already one of the Premier League's most feared attackers. That season, however, saw him elevate his game to another level entirely. It was the season that would ultimately earn him the prestigious PFA Players Player of the Year award for the second time in his career. Bale finished the 2012-13 season with 21 league goals, many of them absolute screamers from outside the box, and an additional 9 assists. He was untouchable. Defenders simply couldn't cope with his speed, power, and technical ability. But what made Bale stand out wasn't just his physical gifts. It was his mental toughness and ability to deliver when it mattered most. He was a player who could change the course of a game with a single touch, a devastating run, or a thunderbolt of a shot from 30 yards out. After his stellar 2012-13 campaign, it became clear that Tottenham wouldn't be able to keep hold of their Welsh talisman for much longer. The biggest clubs in Europe were lining up to make offers, but one stood out above the rest: Real Madrid. In the summer of 2013, Gareth Bale completed a move to the Spanish giants for a then world record fee of €100 million. The pressure was immense. Not only was Bale moving to the biggest club in the world, but he was also arriving with the weight of a record-breaking transfer fee on his shoulders. Many questioned whether Bale could handle the pressure of playing alongside superstars like Cristiano Ronaldo and Luka Modric. But as we'd soon find out, Gareth Bale was born for the big moments. Bale's start at Real Madrid wasn't easy. He struggled with injuries in his first few months, and the Spanish media were quick to criticize the club's massive investment. But when Bale found his rhythm, he proved that he was worth every penny. One of the first glimpses of Bale's magic, a Real Madrid shirt, came in Copa del Rey final against Barcelona in 2014. With the game tied at 1-1 and extra time looming, Bale produced one of the most iconic moments of his career, a jaw-dropping solo run that left Barcelona's Marc Bartra in the dust. Picking up the ball near the halfway line, Bale sprinted past Bartra, literally running off the pitch at one point, before slotting the ball past the onrushing goalkeeper. It was a goal that perfectly encapsulated everything that made Bale special: his speed, power, and ability to deliver in the biggest moments. That goal secured Madrid the Copa del Rey title, and it was just a sign of things to come. If the Copa del Rey final was impressive, the 2014 Champions League final was legendary. Real Madrid were desperate to win their 10th European Cup, a trophy that had eluded them for over a decade. Facing city rivals Atletico Madrid in the final, it looked like their dream would once again be denied, as Atletico led 1-0 deep into stoppage time. But in the 93rd minute, Sergio Ramos scored a dramatic equaliser, sending the game into extra time. With momentum now firmly in Madrid's favour, Gareth Bale seized his moment. In the 110th minute, with the score still tied, Bale rose high at the far post to head home a rebound after a save from Atletico's keeper. It was the goal that effectively sealed Madrid's 10th European Cup, La Decima. For Bale, it was the crowning moment of his first season at Madrid. He had arrived as the world's most expensive player, and he had delivered when it mattered most. But this was just the beginning. Gareth Bale had already stunned the world with his blistering pace and powerful strikes. But what came next at Real Madrid would forever etch his name into footballing folklore. From his incredible Champions League heroics to the turbulent later years, Bale's prime wasn't just about stats. It was about unforgettable moments that defined an era. By 2016, Gareth Bale had firmly established himself as one of Real Madrid's most important players. Despite playing alongside football royalty Cristiano Ronaldo and Luka Modric, Bale often delivered in the most critical moments. And the 2016 Champions League final was no exception. Facing Atletico Madrid once again, this time in Milan, Real Madrid found themselves locked in another battle with their city rivals. Bale wasn't just a passenger in this contest, he was a driving force. In a tense and tightly contested match, it was Bale's flicked header that set up Sergio Ramos' opening goal, putting Real Madrid ahead. Atletico managed to equalize, and the match eventually went to penalties. Bale, despite battling through cramps and fatigue, stepped up for his penalty with remarkable composure. He converted his spot kick with ice-cold precision, helping Madrid secure their 11th European Cup, La Decima. Though the headlines often centered around other stars, Bale's contributions were undeniable. He wasn't just a supporting actor in Madrid's success, he was a crucial player who delivered in the highest stakes moments. If there's one moment that truly encapsulates prime Gareth Bale, it's the 2018 Champions League final against Liverpool. Madrid were hunting for their third consecutive Champions League title, but they faced a Liverpool side bursting with confidence and spearheaded by Mohamed Salah. In what would become one of the most iconic moments in Champions League history, Bale delivered a performance for the ages. With the score tied at 1-1, Bale was brought on as a substitute in the 61st minute. Just 2 minutes later, he produced a moment of sheer brilliance that stunned the world. Marcelo whipped in a cross, and Bale, without hesitation, executed an audacious bicycle kick from outside the box that flew past Liverpool's goalkeeper Loris Karius. The stadium erupted. Commentators were left in disbelief. It was a goal that perfectly encapsulated Bale's talent, athletic, fearless, and capable of producing the extraordinary. But Bale wasn't done. Later in the match, he unleashed a long-range strike that Karius fumbled into the net, securing a 3-1 victory for Madrid and their 13th European title. That night in Kiev became the defining moment of Bale's career. It wasn't just about the goals he scored, it was about the manner in which he seized the occasion. In a team full of superstars, Bale had delivered the knockout punch, cementing his legacy as a Madrid legend. Despite all of his successes, Bale's career at Real Madrid was far from smooth sailing. As injuries began to mount, his playing time became more limited, and tensions between Bale and the club started to rise. By 2019, the relationship between Bale and Madrid's management, particularly manager Zinedine Zidane, had become strained. The media often portrayed Bale as disinterested or distant, largely due to his focus on golf and his somewhat reserved nature. But behind the headlines, Bale was dealing with a series of frustrating injuries that limited his ability to stay fit and consistently perform at the highest level. By 2020, Bale's role at Madrid had been significantly reduced, and he was often left on the bench during crucial matches. Despite this, he had already achieved what many players could only dream of, for Champions League titles, to La Liga titles, and the Copa del Rey. His contributions in those triumphs were undeniable, even if his time at Madrid ended on a sour note. In 2020, Gareth Bale returned to Tottenham Hotspur on loan, offering a glimpse of the player who once terrorized Premier League defenses. While he wasn't quite the same explosive force he had been during his first stint at Spurs, there were moments of brilliance that reminded fans just how good he could be. Bale scored 11 goals in 20 Premier League appearances during the 2020-21 season, showing that even in the twilight of his career, he still had the ability to change games. His return to Tottenham felt like a full-circle moment, as fans welcomed back the player who had once been their golden boy. However, it was clear that Bale's best years were behind him. Injuries and age had taken their toll, but his moments of magic still shone through, albeit less frequently. One area where Gareth Bale's influence has remained consistent is with the Welsh national team. While his club career may have experienced ups and downs, Bale's performances for Wales have been nothing short of heroic. In 2016, Bale led Wales to their first ever European Championship, where they made an incredible run to the semi-finals. Bale was the driving force behind their success, scoring crucial goals and providing leadership on the pitch. For a country that had long been overshadowed by its footballing neighbours, Bale's performances for Wales were nothing short of inspirational. He was more than just a star player. He was a symbol of hope for an entire nation. The Welsh dragon on his chest seemed to bring out the very best in him, and his legacy, the greatest Welsh player of all time, is unquestioned. Even as his club career winds down, Bale's passion for representing Wales remains as fierce as ever. So, how good was prime Gareth Bale? When we talk about Bale at his peak, we're talking about a player who had the ability to completely dominate games. A player who could decide matches with a single moment of brilliance. His pace was frightening, his left foot was lethal, and his physical presence made him nearly unstoppable when he was in full flow. But perhaps what made Gareth Bale truly special was his ability to deliver in the biggest moments. Whether it was his solo goal at the Copa del Rey final, his towering header in the 2014 Champions League final, or that unforgettable bicycle kick in 2018, Bale consistently rose to the occasion when the stakes were highest. Yes, Injuries hampered his consistency, and his relationship with Real Madrid ended on a somewhat sour note. But when we talk about prime Bale, we're talking about a player who, at his best, was unplayable. Few players in the history of football have had the ability to combine raw athleticism with technical skill in the way Bale did. And while his career may have been filled with ups and downs, those moments of pure magic are what football fans will remember most. Bale's legacy is secure. He wasn't just a world-class player. He was a game changer, a player who made you believe that anything was possible when he was on the pitch. Prime Gareth Bale wasn't just good, he was one of the best in the world. His devastating speed, lethal finishing, and ability to shine on the grandest stages make him a true footballing icon. From the streets of Cardiff to the bright lights of the Bernabeu, Bale's journey is a testament to what hard work, raw talent, and the love for the game can achieve. While his career may have had its fair share of controversies and injuries, no one can deny the impact Gareth Bale had at his peak. And when we look back at the highlights, the wonder goals, and the trophies, one thing becomes clear: prime Bale was unforgettable. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to GoalGist for more in-depth football stories. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.